Hello people and welcome to CAD in Black. This is an exercise tutorial for beginners. In this video you will learn how to use the basic drawing commands in AutoCAD by solving 9 exercises. I strongly suggest you to try to make them. It can be at the same time that you are watching this video, for example, because that's a good way to start getting in touch with AutoCAD, as the best way of learning is practicing a lot. However, if you like to have a general introduction of the software, you can watch the tutorial that I linked on the card that is appearing now. So when you are ready, we can start. Let's start with exercise 1. Before drawing, make sure you have the object snap turned on, as well as the icon at the left, the object snap tracking or auto snap. Here I just need to use either the command line or polyline. First I need to choose the layer where I want to draw. Lines, this one. Then I'm going to activate the command polyline. I go to this endpoint, drag to the right, and I click for the first point. Then I type 20, press enter. Then I go up vertically, type 30, press enter. And I continue until I finish all this figure. Then horizontally I type 30 and press enter. This is 30 again, then 20, and when I'm going to finish, I can click either in the start point or type CL to close the polyline. Because the lines in these exercises are only vertical and horizontal, I can make it with the ortho mode on. I'm going to do the same process. As you see, it's a bit faster this way. Exercise 2. Now I am going to use the command line. Go again to the end point and drag to the right. Click for the first point. First I type 40, then 25, after 20, 15. I can do very fast with the ortho mode, as you see. For the second part, as it has a rectangular shape, I can use the command rectangle. I type the shortcut, which is REC. Press enter. I click on this endpoint, and here I need to insert the lengths on the X and Y axis. First is the X axis, which is 25. Then I press Tab and insert 60 for the Y axis. Press enter to finish. For the last section, I do exactly the same as I did on the beginning. Just follow the lengths. Exercise 3. This time there are lines with a 25-degree angle to the x-axis. I am going to use the command polyline to draw this figure. And I start on this vertical line. The horizontal line here, I leave it to the end because it has an unknown length. I draw the following lines: 60, then 20, 20 again. Now, to draw the diagonal lines, first I'm going to turn off ortho mode. I can simply switch to polar mode. Then I type 50, press the button tab. The length is locked. Now I can specify the angle. Type 25 and press enter. After, I do the same to the next line. First type 50, tab, then As I'm below the track line, the angles count in a clockwise direction. This means I have to insert 25 instead of a negative distance. Press Enter. Finally, I just have to insert the remaining lines. And for the last one, as I don't know the length, I can simply close to connect to the start point of this polyline. Exercise 4. So this exercise, I have to draw it in more than one part. I'm going to use the command line, go to this endpoint, drag to the right again, and first insert the line of 100, then this one 60, then 20, 30, and then these last ones of 10 of length each. At the end, I can connect to this point. The object snap mode here is perpendicular. Press Escape to finish. After, I will draw this square. With the pointer hovering this endpoint, I drag slowly to the right, and when the label extension and the dashed line appear, type the distance showing here, 20. Then I just draw the lines of the square. So you can easily finish this figure by yourself. Now I press Enter to reactivate the previous command, which is the command line. This horizontal, we are going to connect to the intersection here. For the last rectangle, we use the same process as the small square before. Hover the endpoint, drag right and type 25. Finally, draw these last lines. Now I want to show you an important tip. At the end, I can decide to merge these lines in a polyline to be easier to select the entire figure. However, polylines cannot have, like what is happening here, branches in the intersections. Therefore, if I use the command join to transform this in a polyline, select everything, press Enter, what I can see is more than one polyline here. For these situations, I can group the objects. I select them, I press the right button and click on Group. So I can click anywhere on this figure and it selects as if it was a single object. Exercise 5. Here we have several oblique lines. Another way of drawing those is going to the track settings, which we can find in this arrow. Here on polar angle settings, I can add more angles to track. I want an angle of 40 degrees and I will add another of -40. Press Enter. As you see, it automatically considers as 320. I click on OK to close this window. Now let's draw this exercise. To draw the first line, don't forget the polar tracking turned on. I can see that the 40-degree angle is now tracked, so I just need to type the length 100. For the next line, it does the same but in the negative direction. Type 100 again. Then just connect the last line of the triangle to the start point. For the small triangle, I drag to the right, type 30 and press Enter. Then I find the angle 40 degrees and type 20 for the length. Then I can click in this intersection once I see this angle of 40 degrees in a clockwise direction. For the rectangle in the middle, I activate Polyline. I can go to the top vertex of the triangle, move down and type 40 to place the start point. Right after, I insert a line of length 15 to the right. Of course, I can also switch to the ortho mode. Here I draw a line of 30, then 5, and finally connect here. Then it remains a small triangle at the right. I can draw it normally, but I can use the command mirror, as this drawing is symmetric. Type MI, press Enter. Select Objects. Then I have to find the midpoint of the horizontal line here. Click. And now I am going to draw a vertical mirror line. As you see, the triangle was placed symmetrically. Click and press Enter. Exercise 6. In this exercise, we are going to use circles. The image at the left shows the procedure that I will be using to reach the final result, the image at the right. Let's start. First, I'm going to draw a circle. Click on the icon over there. Now click for the center point and then insert the radius of the circle. I type 40 and press Enter. Then, I need to draw these lines. I go to the Object Snap settings and check if the mode center is on. Then, if I move the pointer over the circle, I can snap the center. I place the mouse over there, move vertically to this side until I find the intersection between the track line and the circle. I click here for placing the first point of the line. The second point will be that one on the other side. Press Escape to exit the command. Now it's easy to draw the small circles. As their centers are defined by the intersections of lines, I type C for the command circle, click on this endpoint and type 20 for the radius. Press Enter, then press Enter again to reactivate the previous command. Then I have to do the same on the other side. Finally, I have to trim the segments of the objects that are not needed. Click on the button Trim. Select all the objects. Press Enter. Next, select all these parts to erase. Press Enter again. The objects that were not deleted, I can select them and press the key Delete. Okay, this exercise is finished, but before going to the next, I want to show you that I could draw the circles faster. If I use the Object Snap mode Quadrant, it snaps the points which are intersected by the UCS coordinates, as you see. So I could draw a circle directly on this side. Exercise 7. Here I'm going to use Offset. This tool allows me to inscribe a polyline inside another. I'm going to start. I type PL and press Enter to draw this polyline. Choose a start point, then draw it following the lengths of each lines. I'm going to use the ortho mode as it's easier to draw orthogonal lines. Then I continue. Here I type 30, the next one is 100, and to finish the polyline, I can connect to the endpoint, and there is no need to deactivate the ortho mode. Next, I am going to use Offset to draw the inner polyline. The offset distance, I type 5, as is the distance here. Then I select the polyline, Move the pointer inwards and click. Press Enter to exit the command. This was easy. Let's continue. This time I have to draw these lines. I start with this one and the distance here is known, 30. I turn on the command line, go to this endpoint, drag over the oblique line and type 30. Then I can draw a line here and the length is 25. After, I just need to do the same on the other side. Okay, at the end, connect those lines like this. Exercise 8. This looks a bit more complex, but it's actually easy to draw. First, we are going to draw all this polyline until here. And all the measures are on the screen. Let's start. I'm going to type PL, press Enter, and I draw all the polyline with the ortho mode turned on, as it's much easier. I keep drawing. Now I insert a length of 44 for this line, then 4, this one is 20, and I do everything until I reach the middle of this figure. When I reach the diagonal line, I switch to the polar tracking, place the line on this direction, type 20 for the distance, then press Tab and type 60 for the angle. Press Escape to exit the command. Next, I need to offset the polyline with a distance of 3. Type O, press Enter, then type 3 for the offset distance. Press Enter again. Then I select the polyline, move the pointer to this side and click to place the new polyline. So the next step is to draw a line to connect both polylines. As you see. Then I draw a circle from this midpoint of the line I drew previously and insert 5 for the radius. On the space here, I need to draw these two lines. The location is easy to know. I just have to click on the endpoints of the polyline segments. This way. Then I draw the second line. Here. Now I can use the command Trim to get rid of the segments I don't want. Type TR to activate the command. Select everything, press Enter. Select these lines, then the things inside the circle. Don't forget to click on this arc. Press Enter. At the end, click on this little line and press Delete. Finally, I need to draw the remaining half side of this figure, and as it's symmetric, I can easily draw with the command Mirror. I type MI and press Enter. I select all the objects. Press Enter again. Click here for the first point of the mirror line. Then, if I draw the line vertically, imagine it as a mirror, the objects are placed in this way. Then I click No to keep the original objects. Exercise 9. This is an example of a window that is commonly used on a building elevation. A quick way to draw this is with rectangles. First step, I am going to draw the frame using the tool Rectangle. Type REC and press Enter. Click for the first point. Then I can insert the length on the x-axis, which is 100. Press the button Tab to switch to the y-axis. I insert 80. Press Enter to draw the rectangle. After, I draw the next one. and its first point is located here, with these distances from the frame outline. A good method here is to draw a line, go to this endpoint, move to the right, type 5 and press enter. The new line starts there. Then I just need to draw a vertical line with 5 of length. Now I know the next rectangle starts at the endpoint of the line I just drew. I activate the command, click on the endpoint, then I insert the lengths. The first is 40. Press tab and insert 70 for the second one. Press enter to confirm it. After this, I need to inscribe another rectangle inside the last one. I am going to click on Offset. Type 10 for the offset distance. Then I click on the polyline. A rectangle is actually polyline, don't forget this. Click inside to place the new rectangle. Now I just have to copy both rectangles to the other side of the window. I am going to use the command mirror for this. Select the objects and press enter. Then I choose this midpoint because it's on the middle of the window and then draw a vertical mirror line. Here, choose no to keep the original objects and press enter. Finally, I'm going to draw a vertical line again from the midpoint. I hover this endpoint, drag to the right and click on the intersection of these track lines. Also, I have to stretch a bit on the button by clicking on the grips. This little line, I need to delete it. And the window is finished. Okay, so you just reached the end of this tutorial. I hope you found it useful, and if you need extra help, I can give you online private lessons. Send me an email for more information. Of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, you know what to do. Thank you, and till the next tutorial.